As the time nears for the official coalition talks to begin, President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan has been criticized for deliberately taking his time to give a deputy the mandate to form a government, an attitude that is taken to indicate Erdoğan's willingness for an early election. It is the president himself who wants to deliberately lead the country into an early election, Semih Yalçın, deputy chairman of the Nationalist Movement Party, MHP, told the Bugün Daily on Monday. According to Yalçın, Erdoğan wants to profit from a potential failure of the political parties to strike a coalition government in the hope that the ruling party could increase its number of seats in parliament in an early election to form a government without needing a coalition partner. The president could have, by some accounts, tasked a deputy with forming the government after the Supreme Election Board, YSK, announced the official election results, which it did on June 18, to leave the parties more time for coalition talks. Or instead, the president could have also done the same after the election of the parliament speaker last Wednesday. According to a Cumhuriyet Daily report on Monday, the former presidents gave, 5 times in the past, a deputy the mandate to form the government within a week after the YSK announced the official results. In the general election on June 7, in which the ruling Justice and Development Party, AK Party, lost its parliamentary majority for the first time since coming to power in 2002, no single party got enough votes to form a government. A deputy from the main opposition Republican People's Party, CHP, maintained on Monday that Erdoğan's priority is an early election. The president is putting off efforts to forge a coalition government as he seeks to determine the date of an early election based on a plan in his head, CHP deputy Gay Usluer said in a speech at the party's office in Eskişehir. Noting that former presidents tasked a deputy with forming the government 3 days after Parliament's oath-taking ceremony, Usluer added, "This represents a deliberate effort to gain time by putting off assigning a deputy. There is no definitive article in the Constitution regarding when a president must assign a deputy to form the government, and Erdoğan might be planning to give the mandate after the election of all members of the Bureau, that is, Speaker's Council of the newly elected parliament. It looks as if the task of forging a coalition will be given next week," added Usluer, who is an Eskişehir deputy. Before being elected in August of last year, Erdoğan headed the AK Party governments. Erdoğan may be seeking for the AK Party to come to power in a single-party government, as opposition parties have declared that they are determined to relaunch sweeping corruption investigations in which some leading AK Party figures, including Erdoğan, are allegedly involved. The members in the Bureau of Parliament are expected to be announced in a session of Parliament on Thursday. As per the Constitution, the president can call for an early election if a government cannot be formed within 45 days after the election of all members of the Speaker's Council. Erdoğan is expected to give the mandate first to acting Prime Minister Ahmet Davutoğlu, who is the head of the party that has the most deputies in parliament. According to the Daily's report, if Erdoğan does not assign Davutoğlu on Thursday, the assignment may be delayed until next week, as Davutoğlu will be leaving for Bosnia and Herzegovina, from where he will return over the weekend. Article 116 of the Constitution, which is about the renewal of elections, says, if a new Council of Ministers cannot be formed, within 45 days of elections for the Bureau of the newly elected Grand National Assembly of Turkey, the President of the Republic may likewise, in consultation with the Speaker of the Grand National Assembly of Turkey, decide to renew the elections. Speaking during an iftar on Friday, Erdoğan said he does not think that a minority government would address Turkey's serious problems, once again raising the prospect of a snap election. The countdown for the formation of a government will begin with the formation of the Bureau of Parliament. Should the president assign Davutoğlu on Thursday, then talks for forging a coalition government may last until August 24. Generally speaking, a total of 276 seats, representing an absolute majority in the 550-seat parliament, are required to form a government. The AK Party and the main opposition CHP have 258 and 132 deputies, respectively, while the Nationalist Movement Party, MHP, and the pro-Kurdish People's Democratic Party, HDP, each have 80 deputies in parliament. According to a Tariff Daily report over the weekend, Erdoğan is hoping to get back, in an early election, some of the seats in parliament that the right-wing MHP managed to get by a small margin of votes in some central and eastern Anatolian provinces in the June election. In these provinces, the MHP reportedly won 20 seats which it could have lost to the AK party if the MHP had gotten some 5,000 to 10,000 votes less depending on the province. Should the AK party succeed in getting 18 more seats than it currently has, it will have the chance to form a party without needing a coalition partner.